Hello, ladies and gentlemen. As always, I'm your host, AirsoftAL, and this is my bed. Well, it's the background of my bed, because my workbench is kind of covered with tools and stuff, and, yeah, anyway, though. So, today I wanted to kind of talk to you guys about flashlights, which is what my phone is using right now to kind of illuminate the background. So, I want to kind of talk about this. This is the Feyachi tactical light that I got a long time ago, and let me tell you, it's pretty bright. I've used this for, I want to say at least 2 years now, 3 years. I think I got this before COVID became a thing, so pre-2019, so about 3 years now. And this is actually kind of a nice flashlight. It's got a nice little pressure button right there. It's pretty good for the price tag. It comes with this nice little mount right here that you can actually put on your gun, that you can put on any Picatinny or, what have you, and it's actually a nice little scope mount. I've painted it because, woodlands. Haven't painted this yet. I'm determining whether or not I want to paint it or not, but, one of those things. But no, this is actually kind of nice. Aside from this, the flashlight also came with this, which is your pressure pad. A nice little thing right here that attached to the thing, your pressure pad here, and of course a on-off switch. However, it doesn't come with anything to actually work with the flashlight, or at least work with how it should, be able to use it. The only way you could do this is if you tape this down, and it's not really economical or really anything, is it? Well, not today. You see, I found out Feyachi actually does make, of course, a mount, and these mounts are actually affordable, and I was able to get them, and I've been not sent these, quote-unquote, but, I did get them to review. So, here they are. Or at least one of them. I'll get to the other one in a second. This is the Picatinny mount, and the way this works is you take your bit right here, let me just put in like this. You're supposed to go this way. You put in like this, and then you put the wire through this nice little bit right here. You just feed it in like that, and then you just smush this up in there to where it's basically, level with that. Now, you're probably seeing these, and you're thinking, oh, these line up with, of course, these spaces within. No, not really. It's the spaces between the little divots here that you're supposed to line up with the rails. And that's actually kind of nice. So, these actually do work, which I did test this on a few things. This actually does work with, of course, metal rails, polymer rails, and finally the big one, which I'm a huge fan of, M-LOK Picatinny rails. But we'll get to this in a second. Let's first talk about the metal rails. The metal rail here is, of course, from an Elite Force M4 CQB Gen 3. And the way this is supposed to work is you're supposed to line this up once again. You're supposed to line up the divots with the rails right there, and then just bring it down and just snap it into place as such. There we go. And once it's snapped into place, it's not moving, it's not going anywhere. You can literally do this with it. It's basically perfect in place to where you can click, 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 click. And of course, turn on the light if you want to. And getting it off is pretty simple. It's just a peel off. And as I say before, it works well with even polymer rails. So if you have a polymer rail system, that's the top. I want the left side. There's the left side. Once again, same simple process of just pop it into place, which these pop on a lot easier onto polymer rails than they do metal rails, which actually, I like that, but at the same time I don't like that, because you could wear out the polymer rails and it finally just one day not even stay attached. But again, same process. It's on there, it's staying on there, it's not that bad. And once again, tearing them off, same process. Now, when it comes to the M-LOK rails, this is where things get kind of, how do I put this? Fucky-wucky. So, we all know about, of course, M-LOK rails. This is the short one, or at least the mid-length one. This is the long one. This is the one that's going to cover an entire M-LOK section, or at least a good portion of the M-LOK section. You don't want to use this. You can only use the long section of the M-LOK for the Picatinny one. Reason for this is because the short one is, well, kind of comes to here on the and even if you get it midway, you still have a lot of it poking off the front and the back, which makes it easy to remove accidentally. That's why you need the long section. The long section actually covers the entire rail segment. Again, entire rail segment covered, and you basically have this. Now, let's say you don't want the Picatinny. Well, that's actually pretty simple, because the next part of this is where we get to have a little bit of fun, and where we get to show the next bit, because this is a two-piece package, and this, while good for Picatinny, for my own uses, I like to use the other one. Now let's say you don't want to use the M-LOK Picatinny rail. Well, no worries. Ta-da! You have, of course, this, which is the M-LOK pressure pad, which is actually pretty intuitive. The same thing can be said for much like the Picatinny pad, except you have to literally unscrew these two right here, these two bit right here, pull this off, then put the pressure pad in here, and then tighten it all back down. And once that's done, you take your M-LOK section right here, and you more or less just line it up. Make sure the things are lined up. There we go. You line up and you put it in there. And you basically clickety click 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 click, basically, you know, the usual stuff. And once again, if since it's airsoft and you don't got to worry about heat coming from the gas tube, you can actually put it up on top. However, if I can get this to line up however way you want it, and actually have a top pressure pad where you can basically click 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 click, you know, usual stuff. Again, it kind of depends on how you want to do it, but most of the time because I'm running a camera on this side here, I'll most of the time have the pressure pad over here, or, you know, something along that lines. There we go. If I can get it all lined up perfectly, there we go. Right here, so that way I can actually actuate it with my fingers here. So that way my camera is, got my thumb resting on the camera or up here, and I can click, 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 click on my fingers here, more or less. The sad thing is that if I want, since this is the longer version, I can actually have it here as well. But again, it's one of those things. I got to figure out my camera section, figure out my my camera situation, because I've got an M-LOK camera, and of course I've got another camera, but it's just one of those things. But either way, let's just go ahead, take these and test them out, and you can see how these things actually do work in practice.
Looking for that perfect game for your gaming console? Video Game Corner is the largest independently owned video gaming store in North Mississippi, located at 1519 Highway 72 in Corinth. We are an authorized limited-run retail store and have a massive collection of retro games and game systems, and also plush toys and collectibles. We also pay top dollar for your used video games. Check them out Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Visit Video Game Corner in Corinth.
Overall, I'm gonna say this now, both of these are actually worth the price tag. They're good beginner setups, or at least they're good for, let's say, just airsoft or paintball only. As for actual serious shooters, or those who actually do take competition a little seriously, or want to have something for self-defense, or something along those lines, I'd recommend you, of course, go with the more serious stuff, the more actual pressure pads, and actual tactical flashlights. Feyachi is more towards airsoft and paintball than actual serious shooters. But overall, it's worth it, in my opinion, for airsoft and paintball. Or even Nerf, for that matter. But, either way though, thank you all so very much for watching. As always, I've been AirsoftAL. A big thank you to Feyachi for allowing me to be able to review their products here. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, I've been AirsoftAL, and if you want to help support the channel, consider donating to the PayPal down below. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, I've been AirsoftAL. I'll see you all in the next video. And let me know in the comment section down below if you've used the Feyachi pressure pads, and if you have any issues with them, because I haven't had any issues with them yet, but you may have had issues that you can bring up in the comment section. Till next time, ladies and gentlemen, I've been AirsoftAL. See you all in the next video. Later.